Ooh, welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday afternoon. Excited to be back with you all today. I know it's been a few weeks since we've been here on live stream, so it's good to be back and talk about some para. We got Cameron here waiting to come in. Looks like we got Rad, Jay Frass, and Yabba Dabba so far. Welcome, everybody. Like I said, I'm excited to be here again today. So let's bring Cameron in. We'll chat for a few minutes, and then we'll get started and talk about some para and find out what Cameron's been doing. Good afternoon, Cameron. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just busy as usual, and but we're doing good. So I'm excited to be back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah, I'm excited to be back too, man. So I always am grateful when you put these on.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing them. It's nice to be out in front of the community. I know we got a big Wednesday coming up, so I'm excited for that as well. It'll be good to hear from Lee and probably Spencer as well, hopefully, and talk about everything that's been going on. Hopefully, maybe we get a little bit of a taste. I know you kind of gave us a teaser of your meeting that you had with a friend of yours last week, and so that's hopefully we can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff coming up.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's one of these things where we're on the right path. We're doing the things that we said that we're going to be doing, which is the important part. It takes time, So going through and doing the security stuff, we're looking at timelines, and it could be short, it could be a longer amount of time, right? So we're not totally sure, but yeah, happy to get into it.
Yeah, and what everyone needs to remember too, and myself included, is we're kind of creating a new path, right? We're not following anybody else's path. We're not doing something anybody else has done. So it's kind of like we're chopping down the weeds as we go through them and finding out what's on the other side, because no one's done it before. So we're literally finding out how it's going to be done as we're doing it. And once things get submitted, we'll kind of start to learn, how it's going to be. But until then, we just don't know.
Well, you're right. I was on a panel discussion, a roundtable discussion the other day, and it was interesting. We were the only project, and this seems to be the case throughout crypto, but we were the only project that leaned into becoming a security, right? Everyone is, Coinbase is picking up and moving, and we're going to be out of the United States, and we're going to be doing this and that and whatever to avoid it. And that's fine. I mean, to each their own. Everyone's got their own path, right? It takes a community. We're all trying to figure this out. But yeah, what makes para different is that we're leaning into it. We're going to the SEC. We're going to FINRA. We're saying this is who we are. This is what we're doing. If Gary G wants to say that we're a security, great. What does that mean? How does that work? Let's make the rules. Let's make it clear. We're acting in good faith. We always have been. We're doing, everything to the highest standard, so that, whatever they decide will already be in compliance.
Yep.
But we're excited to work with them and have them figure out some rules as well, and make it clear path for cryptocurrencies in the future.
Yeah. And, I think for us, there is no worst case for this, right? A lot of projects will say, well, worst case scenario, we're considered a security and we have to leave the United States. For us, if they come back and say you're not a security, okay, great. We'll just continue. But now we know what the expectation is when regulation does come down, that other projects don't know, but we know, hey, we're registered, or we're going to get registered, or we're not a security. So now we know what direction we're going into, right? And we can plan accordingly. So for us, there really is no worst case scenario, right? We're just exploring and trying to figure out, where this project is going.
Right. And honestly, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, accounting practices, transparency. One of the big things that when going to become a security, right? There's a whole bunch of audits and a whole bunch of deep dives that happen with your company. One of the things that they're trying to find out is, do you have, say, like a convertible note, right? Which would be it would be like an IOU or something that you could exchange and turn into more equity shares or more stocks. And they want to make sure that they have everything on the books, so that when they set the price and they have the market cap and everything like that, it's not they're not surprised by someone that converts, and adds 20-30% more shares and dilutes the pool and stuff like that. The good thing with blockchain is it's all there. We know every
Yep.
wallet that holds para. We know exactly how much is in there. We know what we can and can't do. So when we take this and we say, well, this the total supply, right, or the what do they call it? The approved supply in the traditional market, I think is what they call it. Um, sorry, authorized and outstanding. I'm learning these terms, but so authorized would be like the total supply. When we say
Yep.
there's 50 billion, that's it. There's 50 billion. We can't go into the smart contract and say, you know what, let's change that to 100 billion. Let's change that to 2 trillion. We don't have a printing press like others do, so it's fixed. And then if they say, okay, well, who's holding this supply? We may not be able to say the person's name, right? That kind of comes with the territory, but we can say this wallet. We can give them all of our information. We can give them all of but for the most part, it should expedite that process. I think the piece that is going to be most interesting, or the thing that I'm thinking about that is, I think, going to be a challenge, is we have the free, kind of unregulated, decentralized market, which we're all trading in right now. You go to Uniswap and you buy and sell or whatever, right? When we then are on a traditional market, whether that be NASDAQ or something like that, that's like its own liquidity pool. So how are they going to approach it? Are they going to include all of the Uniswap and all of those tokens and everything that's out there? Or is it going to have to be like a separate pool, almost where like we take a stock and we wrap a certain percentage of tokens? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but I think that that's really going to be a major part of blazing this trail for other cryptos in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of projects I think are so unsure of this whole process because they don't know what is going to come out of it in the end, right? Um, I think there's a lot of projects out there that are still having problems, and you want to say rug pulling and things like that, but people don't want regulation, but they want that stuff to stop. So I don't know that you can have both. You cannot, you can stop rug pulling and not have regulation. I think it's the DeFi spaces, so it's uncharted waters, and there's a lot of stuff like that still happening. So unfortunately, for a lot of projects, this needs to happen, and what that looks like in the end, we don't know, but that's what we're wanting to find out. So before I forget, please, if everybody could like the stream and share it out for us, and then it's good to see you, Dover, Ashton. It's good to see you, man. It's been a while. It's good to see everybody.
Subscribe and hit that bell.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and the more I'm becoming familiar with the traditional markets and how things go, let me tell you something. Regulation and all of this, it might stop certain rug pulls, right? Or it might reduce certain rug pulls. Mainly things where they just pull liquidity, or they, maybe they have a certain amount of supply that they then dump or they mint or something, right? Those types of rug pulls, I think regulation would help with. But what I'm seeing is that really what we're talking about in the traditional markets is there's just some people that just have the authorization to do things like dump at launch, right?
Yep.
It's not like in crypto, if there was a project that held back a certain amount and was selling off at the community, and whatever, I mean, we would almost see that as like, oh, that's kind of shady, that's kind of whatever. That's how we're told that's how a business makes money in this. You hold back a certain amount of supply at launch, it goes up or whatever, and then as you need money, you sell it off, right? So it's a very different beast than what my experience has been in DeFi, as well as like there's a company, and by the way, I'm not saying that we are partaking in any of this. I just want to make people aware of this, right? But there's a company that was like, we'll bring you public. will help you bring you public and whatever. And I understand this, right? And it's no shade. I'm just trying to show that it's a little different. They didn't even want money, right? Okay,
Hmm.
no problem. How do you get paid? Well, with shares, and then at launch, we'll sell it off at launch, right? Okay, but and it's
Yep.
not that in the traditional market, it's just that's just how it works. Like I said, no shade. I appreciate the help, and we might might take them up or maybe not. As of right now, we don't have any deals, but it's just different. In crypto, there's almost like a higher ethical standard.
Yeah.
So my whole point in this rambling, incoherent thing is just to say it's always going to come back to do your own research, understand a project. Like there's never going to be a substitute, whether we're regulated or not.
Yeah. Well, and there's always going to be those projects people are willing to take bigger risks for the chance of bigger reward, right? This maybe doesn't look all that great, but I have a chance of making money. And there's always going to be people out there that are going to do that and are willing to do that, but they need to understand that it may be gone. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think in the end, it's not ever going to completely stop, just like anything else in this world. That we think is bad or illegal, but I definitely think it'll help. Definitely grasping the understanding of people being watched a little more. I think
Mhm.
would definitely be beneficial.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are some financial crimes that happen, a lot of fraud that happens. We've been seeing it with staking in a big
Yeah,
way. A lot of staking getting shut down. It's not necessarily because staking is a problem. It's because they're getting people's money, going off, investing it on their behalf, promising these massive returns, and then there's actually no mechanism or agreement saying that they actually have to show these returns or anything like that. That's really what is being shut down. I'm in favor of some of that. We don't want fraud. We don't want people being taken advantage of, but the market keeps moving. People are moving to crypto. They're seeing that there was a good buying opportunity, and then, of course, when banks get shaky, people go, "Where can I put my money?" And they've been going to crypto. So,
yeah,
yeah, I think we've got a bright future ahead.
I agree. And it's taken a little bit of a hit the last few days. With Bitcoin going back down and Ethereum going back down, but I agree with you. I think when things started to get really rocky with banks, you saw it go right into crypto, and that's a really good sign, whether it stayed there or not. Um, And I think it's becoming more of a normal thing. Cryptocurrency is, and I think it will continue to go that direction. The more and more we see these kind of things happen. So, and that's what we're trying to do at Paris. Try to stay ahead of the curve and be ready for when that finally does take a hold. Because people keep saying, "Oh, this is a bull market," and we just want to be ready for that when it does eventually happen, because it's going to. And so we just want to, like I said, we want to be ready for it.
Right, exactly. Well, and a lot of this is to be expected. I mean, we saw Bitcoin and Ethereum hit obviously the high for the year, but the high for quite a while.
Yeah,
Bitcoin breaking 30,000, that was important, right? That was an important milestone. But I've had on my chart 28,000 for a while, right? So as kind of a higher level of resistance. So I wasn't surprised to see that it comes back down, that we get more resistance there. I mean, people are still going to be taking profits. I mean, if you bought Bitcoin low, if you got it at, I mean, you've at least gone up 50% if you bought some of the lows. So yeah, it's to be expected. I wouldn't say that we're in a bull market yet. I would say that we're in a point of consolidation, but you never know what that catalyst could be, right?
yeah,
It could be the next bank failure, which is inevitable in my opinion. So
yeah,
who knows?
yeah. So you had made a recording in the Telegram last week about your meeting, and so do you want to kind of talk about obviously what you can, and kind
Mhm.
of explain I guess what you can, and maybe what it would mean for Para possibly in the future if that was to happen, and time frame, realistic time frames, because a little bit of it is unknown, but
Definitely. Well, I just want to give props to my friend. He's actually in the community, B Squeeze, Brandon. So thank you for making the time. And he did it just because he's an investor and he wants to see the project do well. So yeah, we were able to sit down, get some, well, we didn't actually have lunch, but we sat down and just talked. And Yeah, it was great, really informative. He was just So what he does is he works bringing businesses public in the traditional market. So when it comes to crypto, it's obviously different. We're the first of our kind, and I want to say what we're talking about is a token that started as a crypto moving into the traditional market, right? That's how we're the first
Yeah.
of our kind, the first to do this. I mean, you can't go and buy Saitama on Nasdaq, right? That's not a thing. So we're yeah, we're going to be the first to do this. But anyway, there's a whole bunch that we had a lot of questions as far as the type of information we need to know, and holders, and accountability, and stuff like this. The big kind of takeaways that I can share are really the expectations on time, and this is where maybe the SEC and maybe FINRA, they say, you know what, let's make this a priority because we would love to get this all sorted out and give
Yeah.
cryptos a pathway forward. They're in the business of bringing uh, the SEC, right? They're in the business of bringing businesses into compliance, and they make money this way, and everyone makes money this way. So, in order to keep the market moving and growing, they want this, right? They're incentivized to help businesses. So they're not there saying, "Stop, you can't come in," get the hell out of here. They're here to facilitate everyone's success, from what I've gathered so far. So, there's going to be some back and forth, but if they decide, let's make this a priority. Maybe it's 3 months, from the time we're submitted and until we have our ticker. Maybe that's 3 months. The other side, the other argument, which we don't know yet, could be that it's crypto. Like, we want to do it right. Let's take our time. Let's really just make sure that all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and we know every little teeny thing. We don't know their level of understanding with crypto and their willingness to make this a thing. So, on the other hand, maybe it takes 12 to 18 months. That's a realistic possibility. So it does take time, 3 to 18 months. There's our window, right? To give people a kind of a finger in the wind type of thing to sense how things normally go. A business that has clean financials and all of that, when they go and apply, it usually is about 6 months, 6 to 8 months before they get a ticker. So, who knows exactly where we fall. Lee, when he was talking to his people, because he has his people that he talks to, both in the government and in investment banking, and they were thinking maybe 9 to 12.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it all kind of lines up with that range, and sometimes it feels like they're waiting for a project to want to do this in order to kind of go ahead and start with the process, because we've been hearing about regulation for, geez, a year and a half, and we just
Right.
haven't seen anything. So it's like, well, as soon as a project is willing to do this, let's go with them and maybe push it forward and start it. Um, who knows? Maybe you'll find out that they have some stuff already in mind, um, that they've been planning or looking into doing. But I'm interested to see what happens. Once we start submitting all this stuff, and um, I would say for myself, probably a year or more, just you know, to be prepared for that. But I think we have the right people and the right leader, and you and Lee, and willing to do all this. Lee having all the contacts, and you having the drive to get this done. So
Yeah, we're doing everything on our end that we can to try and anticipate some of the questions, or maybe barriers in our way. We're more than happy for them to present an option and say, this is how we're going to do it, but we're going to show up with an option
yeah,
ourselves. So that way we're not kind of waiting around seeing who wants to take the lead on what. No, we're going to show up and we're going to be ready, and we'll be able to hopefully lead this thing, and they'll understand. If not, maybe they've got a better idea.
Yeah.
That'll be great too. But the thing is this is not, if you're hearing 9 to 12 months or 18 months, I don't want that to discourage anyone, right? This takes time, and what we're talking about specifically is for para, right? Because we're trying to make the para token into a security that's tradable on a traditional market, right? And a traditional market with our type of volume very well could mean the Nasdaq, right? Keep in mind,
Yep.
like I say this, do your own research, not financial advice or anything. I'm just giving you what we're working on and what this likely means. But if we're able to get para through this process, become a security, and put it onto the NASDAQ, I mean, that would be a massive accomplishment. And in the meantime, June, July is our target for releasing the ParaPay app, which we don't need this to be through and done in order to have a product, to be a business making money and growing the token and holders and advertising. We don't need that. So,
and that's where I was going to go next was, we don't want people to think that, oh my gosh, we're going to be 18 months before we see anything produced from ParaWerx. This is just on addition to what we're currently working on, and futuristic goals. Like, we're always looking to the future, right? We're never looking at today. We're always looking 3, 6, 9 months ahead. What can we do? Okay, we've got this. This is, July, and then we want this, and we're always looking ahead. So, we're still are planning on moving forward fully on the same time frame with ParaPay and ParaPOS and get that out and get that rolling. And then, 8 months, January's 7 months almost from here. And so by the time you hit that, that's almost halfway on that time frame, right? So it could be here a lot quicker than we think. So, like Cameron said, don't be scared when you hear 18 months. That's just for, kind of the whole taking the company public type of thing. So, doesn't affect ParaPay whatsoever. So still moving forward on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, kind of more short term. We are focused on. We are going to be separate. I will let your minds go on that one. But we're so that is something that we're working every single day of every week on, is taking the company public, right, and doing that. Meanwhile, we're also working on building this ParaPay app, merchant side as well as the user side, and I think it's really important, especially when there's a lot of talk about the Fed Now option, the central bank digital currencies and stuff like this. I think that our ParaPay app is coming out in the timing is perfect. It'll give people the option, against something that I think is wanting to reduce options, right? I think that the central bank digital currencies are trying to reduce people's options. And what we do is we give people the option to compete and have Ethereum or Bitcoin or Para or 245 of your favorite coins and tokens that we can continue to expand into. And it's and the other thing is of course everything's compliant, everything is on the up and up. And this is very exciting, and it's important to the whole team.
And people, I think, as a general overlook of the population, I think people are looking for something that's safe as well. Because there's a lot of things they want to be able to invest in something and use it safely, and how much can they trust in this space? You're seeing all these people see horror stories all the time about how someone's getting hacked and money's getting stolen and this and that. And so, we want people to be able to have something that they can feel safe to use.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Q, exactly. Making it easier. Exactly.
Yeah. I want to put something out to people, just so everyone kind of knows where we're at. So there's some things that'll be happening in the short term, just on the administrative side. I don't know that it's really going to affect people too much or even really notice it. But I would say this: if you're looking at buying Para, if you're looking at being a part of this community or anything like that, I would ask you to consider looking at NFTs that we have. NFTs can be used as multipliers, so you can be earning more rewards through the staking. This is important to not forget, right? Please, if you know people that are in Para but don't have NFTs, encourage them to buy those. The difference between the tokens and NFTs for our organization is that those funds come straight in here that we can use to continue to build and pay payroll and things like that, right? So if you like the NFTs, if you want some extra rewards, I would encourage you to pick some up. That's going to be important as we are going through this process of growing, growing our business.
Yeah. And so I just pulled up the staking platform. Actually, I hadn't been on here in a while, to be honest with you. Kind of wanted to see where we were, but we're getting close to 17 billion staked and 1,165 NFTs. So that's a cross combination between para preppers, OG preppers, and para pros. So all of which are still for sale on OpenSea. So and the Mint website for para pros. So check those out, and you get multipliers. We've covered it a few times, so if you have any questions on it, just feel free to message me or Cameron or Rad. We all have a very good understanding of it. So message any one of us or the admins, and we can help you out. But definitely, it's one of those things where there's only going to be so many. So once people start to find out and buy them up, and you're going to have to buy them from somebody else, to be able to use them. So pretty much everybody in here in the chat, I want to say, is probably owning them and utilizing them on the staking platform as we speak, and have been for probably 8 months. Has it been 8 months now since we launched it, roughly?
Roughly.
So, but it's a really easy platform to use. Really good source of income as far as earning tokens as rewards. So, you kind of set it and forget it type of thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Yep. But it is important. It is important for what we're doing, right? I mean, we have payroll, we're paying devs, we're, doing a lot as far as building and this process for going through the SEC and everything. It's a very, very expensive, minus the legal fees, we're probably still $30,000 or more going through audits and everything. So when you buy an NFT, that money goes directly to funding those types of things. So if you haven't picked one up, please pick one up. It'll make a difference.
Yeah, and I'll pull up OpenSea so you can kind of, and if you buying it from the project, obviously the money goes to the project. If you buy it from somebody else, then the project's not getting that, but the percentage. But I'll pull them up real quick, and so we can kind of see. I haven't been on here to check for a while.
I know. I was thinking about it. It's been a while since like looking at NFTs and things like that. But and again, this is just another example of Para kind of blazing the trail. This is the first NFT that you could use, that you could stake to multiply your staked amount and get yourself better and bigger rewards. So yeah, it's always fun. Oh, look at those. The OGs.
I know. I've seen some OGs on here every once in a while, and I'm like, I'd love to own some more OG preppers that people are wanting to get rid of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's not too many of those out there, but
yeah,
there's a lot on here for sale. So yeah, check them out, guys. If OGs, you definitely can't mint or buy. Those are just ones that people are holding. So there's a lot on here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is where I was trying to go, I think. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so there's the OGs, then there's the preppers, and then we got the alpha pros.
Which go to the Para.global website, and then you'll go to I don't see it anymore. Here it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Public minting live. Oh. Dang. Okay, well, you go there. So you'll go to the minting website and you'll just mint it there.
Click the OpenSea button right there. I want to take a look at some of these.
We talked about doing another raffle. I need to maybe, if Rad's in here, if you want to do maybe a poll on Telegram and see if anybody else is interested in doing another raffle for a pro. it was a lot of fun doing that, and we could give it away on a Saturday live stream or whatever the case is. So let's see if we can do a poll on the Telegram and see if anybody's interested. We got to get like 20 people, I believe was the amount. So these are the pros. I mean, they're awesome. If I had the money, I would buy another one for sure.
Yeah, they're great. And they give you 50%. So basically, if you have 1 million tokens, you go to stake it, it'll stake like you have 1.5 million tokens, and then you'll earn the rewards based off of that. So yeah, big value there.
This was the one we did on one of the raffles and gave away, which is the only one like this with the red glow on top.
Oh, nice.
So that was one of the ones we did a raffle on. But if you guys message me or Rad and let us know if you're interested in doing another raffle.
Those are cool.
And we'll get that going. So check those out.
Cool. Yeah. Well, just a little plug on that, because that's important to remember.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, if you guys have any questions at all about what we've been talking about, please put it in the chat there and we'll get them answered. But I don't want to talk about too much because we've got huddle on Wednesday that will everybody's anticipation is building for that. But
yeah, So yeah, this Wednesday, the 26th, that'll be the last month. The last Wednesday of every month. We have the whole team. We have Lee and myself and Spencer, and everyone joins in and is able to kind of look at what we've accomplished for the month. So yeah, that'll be exciting. It'll be fun to have that. So please join us on Twitter Spaces. Follow all of our socials and all that. So
yeah.
Well,
I don't want to give up too much today, but if there's anything else you want to talk about, or if not, we'll hop off and save it for Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean there is quite a bit we want to save for Wednesday. We've just been working on it's just been the everything. Yeah, we'll save it for Wednesday. I'm trying to think. It's like, no, because it's been one of those months where, so like last month at the end, we were able to talk about the whole security thing, and that's like excitement and a lot of stuff. Well, now we're in the thick of it, right? So we're talking to attorneys, we're talking to the investment bankers, and Lee's got a cool thing coming up. The beginning of May, he was telling me he's going to be meeting with someone that will probably be pretty pivotal in the growth and expansion of Para. So anyway, there's a lot going on we're excited about, but it's been an administrative month. I mean, we've been building, we've been doing paperwork, we've been talking to attorneys, stuff like that. So there's not the bombshells are, they're more subtle. They're important.
We went from like a show and tell month where the app was getting built and we're getting to a point where we could show it, to now we're to that point where we're doing, like you said, stuff behind the scenes to set up to bring that to fruition, right? So now I wouldn't say it's boring stuff, but it's not something that we can like put an app out and say, hey, let's look at this all together. You know what I mean? It's the back end. So
though I need to get clarification on this. I think because some of the other very exciting stuff we've been working on is stuff like privacy policies and terms of service and stuff like that we need to put on the Google. The Google Play console, we've been building on that. Dave Ender's been working on getting, because we have it on iOS, the test, right? Through test pilot. We're now doing that with the Google Play console. So I don't know exactly when that will be. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is Wednesday. But then people with Androids would be able to download and do some beta testing for us as well. So we're all on track. I mean, if you look at the roadmap, we're all on track.
Yeah. And it's just there's so many steps, you just got to do these steps before you can get to these steps. We can't just jump ahead. And as much as we all want to just it to be done and to come out, and there's so much stuff that even I didn't understand until, I got to see what was going on. And what has to be done, I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah.
this is a lot of stuff, and so, right now we're kind of like, well, it's just they're working hard. Hopefully soon we can move to the next step.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would say the important deadlines are really July. I mean, if we can bring this out, be live with our app in 46 states, I mean, it's not just a merchant app for stores, right? I mean, this would be,
Yep.
um, you know, I'm going to say basically gasless, because we're still working out some of the details, but basically a gasless, peer-to-peer transaction. So it should be replacing Venmo and Cash App and Square Up. Um, it'll be great. And we've been getting a lot of letters of intent from businesses saying once it's out, we'll be offering. We'll be doing this, and we'll
Yeah.
get it built, and then it'll be integration time, because one of the best things that I think we can do as a tech company, as a fintech company, is to be integrated with existing products, right? The
Yep.
apps will allow us to be a standalone, which I think that's the right thing. You have your apps, and you're a standalone utility, people can use it, and all of that. But then to go to other businesses that already have a customer base and say, you're a restaurant company and you have a little portal where people can pay at the table. Great, give them the crypto option, and
Yep.
we'll just expand and make partnerships and go that way as well. So, yeah, the
Yeah.
growth is exponential, in my opinion. A lot to do.
Yeah. And the exponential growth just plays right into that relationship with Prime Trust and being able to launch in more states. I mean, you're looking at going from 4 to 5 on launch to almost all 50 states, which cuts out about a year's worth of work, a minimum, right? For most states, it's going from state to state, little at a time. Um, I mean, to me, that's probably one of the biggest updates we've had in the last month, in my opinion. Because if you really get down to it, I think that's one of the most important updates we've had, just to be able to do that. Because who knows, that it may not have launched in my state right
Right.
away, or it may not have launched in somebody else's state, and I'm sitting here like, well, crap, now I got to drive to, if I want to use it, I got to go to here, and
Yeah.
so
Well,
I think that's huge, in my opinion.
think of how much more attractive that makes the product. I mean, if you're
Exactly.
only available in 5 states, that market is so small, right?
So small.
Because
Yep.
crypto is kind of a small market, so to speak, right? Compared to like
Yep.
how
Yep.
how people are paying, and also people are paying in dollars. They're paying with a credit card, so it's learning a new thing and educating. Um, but yeah, when you're able to interact with 46 states, 48 states, maybe by the time we launch or whatever, I mean, you're right, Alex. It would have been, I would say confidently, maybe 5 years to be
But
in
you heard
that
them
many
all. Yeah.
states on our own. Yeah.
Yep. I
Um,
agree.
and not just 5 years, but hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. I mean, it is
Yep.
because it's expensive for the audits and the licensing and the permit or the bonds, all of that. But there's compliance and ongoing maintenance and all of this. I mean, so you're looking 5 years down the road, easily 7 figures, easily.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
this
Absolutely.
definitely increases the value, and it helps us be able to be used.
Yeah. I totally agree. Hey, Fred, it's good to see you. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Most people probably subscribed already, but like the video. But man, I'm super excited for what's to come. I know, a lot of people are too. Everybody in here, we've been waiting and being patient. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I mean, crap, it's already May, just about, and just to see what's already been done, it's great to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would agree. Prime Trust is one of the biggest updates that we've had. It is important to be, talking about the securities, and we're, doing that whole thing. That is important, and that's going to be a big, a big mover as well. A big update. But
Yep.
really, even if that's what we had, people are going to say, okay, well, what do you sell? What do you do as a business? What products, services, whatever?
Right.
oh, nothing, you know,
Yep.
not nothing, right? But to have the Parapay app, and then to be able to build the other things, because there's more, right? It's not just the Parapay app. Like,
Yep.
obviously, everyone knows I'm still excited for crypto list.
Well, yeah, and so are we. And before I forget, again, I want to point out that when I talk to people about crypto and Para works, I tell them that Para is working on things that are going to appeal to the 96% of people that aren't in crypto, right? Because there's so many projects out there that are doing great things, but if you're not in crypto, you're gonna go, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. I don't know how to use that. So Para is developing something that is going to appeal. And I'm not saying they're going to know how to use it when it comes out, but people are going to go, oh, wait, so you're telling me I can go to my store or this store here and actually use crypto with using this? And you can say yes. So
Right.
to me, that is huge. And so when you talk to people about Paraworks, that should be probably the number one thing we talk about. Because when you talk to somebody that doesn't know anything about crypto, you talk about a blockchain, they don't know what it is. They don't know how to use a wallet. They don't have one. So this is an app. You have
Right.
apps on your phone? Well, yeah, most people do. So it's something that they can download like they do anything else, sign up, and go through the steps like that. So to
Yeah.
me, that is why I am so excited about this product. But yeah, what crypto list I'm just excited for, and we all know why. We've talked about it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Um, you know, to be able to use something that's actually user friendly for projects and not the other way around, something that it's a burden and we all go, okay, who's going to call, right? Who's calling CMC? Who's calling CoinGecko to fix this problem, right? We're going to
We're
draw straws,
we're still with Para. We're still having issues. All of a
I
sudden,
know.
Coinbase wallet and whatever not showing the price anymore and all that. I mean,
Randomly.
it's all tied into the same thing. But it takes time. I think Twitter is a good example of this, right? Twitter, 280 characters, just text, right? A
Yep.
feed, simple like that. They have hundreds, if not at one point, right before Elon, I mean, thousands of employees,
Yeah.
developers working and building and maintaining something that allows you to post 280 characters, right?
Yep.
Or a
Yeah.
picture. So, I mean, its development is slow. It takes time. There's bugs. There's, all of this. The team is doing a great job. I'm really grateful for the team that we have. Spencer's an amazing CTO. Dave Inder
Yeah.
is great with what he's been able to build with the app and everything like that. So, yeah, these things take time. They take time, but it's progress and things are going the way that they should be. So we're excited. Yeah, we'll bring it all to market soon enough.
Yeah. Like I said, we're already 4 months almost completed through this year. And it feels like yesterday we were just talking about how, celebrating 1 year for Para.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now we're almost halfway through this year already. It's crazy. So things
Yep.
are getting done, and things will, that day will come soon enough. And like we've always talked about, 6 months from now, we'll probably be on here talking about how we, had a live stream where we were hoping, and waiting for it to get done and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it'll be here for sure.
It will. Yep. It's they're just phases with everything, right? And then soon enough we'll be having these streams talking about the next integration, next expansion, the next whatever, So
Hmm.
such is
Yep.
life, right? The journey. That's what it's about. And here we are, right? We're on it. So
Yep.
yeah, but I
Absolutely.
appreciate the stream and the time and everything. I'm looking forward to Wednesday. So make sure everyone go follow the Twitter and be there. We'll see you Wednesday. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep. And thanks everybody for coming out today. And thanks Cameron for coming again. And yesterday it's funny, I'll tell y'all, Cameron texted me, he was like, man, I totally forgot it's my son's birthday party, but I can still do it. And I'm like, no, that's our community is so awesome that when I tell people, they're gonna say family first. And that's exactly what we got. So it's not a
Yeah.
big deal. I'm glad we were able to make it work today. But there was no way I was gonna let you do a live stream during your son's birthday party. That's not happening. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Sometimes that's where my judgment fails me. I'm like, oh, it's like a trampoline thing. He's just on a trampoline at a jump house, like, whatever. But
yep.
no, it all matters, right? So yeah, thanks
Yep.
for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for coming out today. Don't forget Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, Hump Day Huddle. Me, Cameron, Rad, Lee, Spencer, we'll all be on there. Exactly, family first. So don't miss it. It's our 1 month or every month big update with the whole team. So make sure you're there. It will be recorded if you're not going to be there. So you'll be able to listen to it later. So again, thank you everybody for coming out today, and we'll see everybody on Wednesday.
Guys,
Thanks,
see ya.
everybody.